All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Dynamis Gaming. I'm doing a playthrough of an AI campaign that I just put in a basic prompt for AI. I use a chat GPT to kind of spearhead a game using somewhat Pathfinder 2E rules and stuff like that. If you want to see kind of a brief way of how I set it up, and check out the first episode. This is episode 2 of the campaign. A quick, just kind of backstory. Last week, started in a tavern, kind of tested out the battling capabilities, I guess you could say, for my character, Roland. He is a human fighter, and so today we have just decided to take the mission to find the Shadow Crown. And so we left the tavern, and it says, Roland, as you leave the tavern behind, the cool night air greets you, carrying with it a sense of anticipation and adventure. You head towards the location marked on the map, eager to begin. So now what I want to do is add another chat prompt here to kind of give me some more direction. And so what I am going to be trying to do here is I'm going to try to introduce another character. Continue the journey. Add a female character who is, let's see, we'll actually say add an AI powered female character who is mysterious and seductive. Let's see if we can add anything to that. Have her meet Roland as he leaves the tavern. And that's all we're going to put in. We're going to see how it plays out. So, episode 2 is the quest for love. Maybe. We'll see. So, hit enter, it runs the prompt, and let's go from there. Again, while we're waiting for it to load, make sure you check out the channel. If you haven't already, subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, so you can kind of see how this develops. If you hear any rain noises on the video, that is because it is raining outside, so it kind of adds a nice little touch to the live feel that I have going on here. So, let's dive in here. So, this says, as Roland steps out of the tavern, he is met with the dim glow of street lamps illuminating the path ahead. The night air is crisp, and the sounds of bustling village gradually fade into the distance behind him. Just as I, Roland, begin to make my way towards the location marked on the map that I was given by the strange cloaked figure in the last episode, again, check it out, I notice a figure standing in the shadows nearby. All these figures seem to start off in shadows. As Roland approaches, he sees a woman, her features obscured by the darkness, yet an aura of mystery and allure surrounds her. Good evening, traveler, she says, in a smooth voice, her tone carrying a hint of seduction. I couldn't help but notice your departure from the tavern. You seem like a man on a mission. Perhaps I could be of assistance. I eye the woman cautiously, sensing both danger and intrigue in her presence. Despite my instincts urging caution, there's something about her that draws me in. Roland, the mysterious woman, stands before you, offering her assistance. How do you respond? Let's see. I probably should have my character sheet down here. So, I've got a character sheet out. It's not the regular character sheet, but it just kind of gives me an idea so I can read through what some of the ability modifiers and stuff like that are. So, I'm going to use I would like to roll for charisma. And try to charm the woman. Ask her name and see what help she could offer. Roland, relying on his natural charisma, decides to charm the mysterious woman. He smiles warmly and extends a hand in greeting. Good evening, he says. I'm Roland, and what might your name be, my mysterious companion? I must admit, your presence here adds a certain allure to the night. With a slight tilt of her head, the woman returns Roland's smile, her eyes sparkling with amusement. I'm known as Lyra, she replies, her voice soft and melodious. As for how I can assist you, well, let's just say I have a particular set of skills that could prove useful on your journey. We just walked into Taken. Tell me, Roland, where is it you're headed? You've successfully charmed the mysterious woman named Lyra. She seems intrigued by your presence and offers her assistance. How do you wish to proceed? I wish it would have allowed for me to roll to see if I could have charmed her, but apparently it just gives me it, because apparently I'm just super charming as a AI-inspired character. So, ask her to walk with me so I can discreetly assess her personality. Intrigued by her offer of assistance and curious about her intentions, Roland decides to engage her farther. With a charming smile, he extends his arm towards her. Would you care to walk with me, he asks, his tone inviting. I find myself in need of a companion on this journey, and your company would be most welcome. Besides, it's always more enjoyable to travel with good conversation. With a coy smile, Lyra accepts the invitation, takes his arm delicately, and they begin to walk together. Roland takes the opportunity to discreetly observe Lyra, trying to gauge her personality and intentions. Roland and Lyra walk side by side, the night air filled with a sense of mystery and anticipation. As they journey together, Roland keeps a watchful eye on Lyra, searching for any clues about her. What subtle details does Roland notice as they walk together? Roll for, perception, I guess. Since you're taking a subtle approach to observe Lyra, roll for perception. Nope. So here again, it tries to roll for me. Allow me to manually roll for perception and input dice value. So you have to kind of give it a nudge in the right direction. It doesn't get it right away. Of course, please go ahead and roll a d20 for your perception check, and then let me know the results. So we're going to go over here and roll. We got an 11. It was a funky roll, but it is what it is. So input it. With a roll of 11, Roland keeps an eye on Lyra as they walk together. He notices subtle details about her demeanor and appearance, trying to discern more about her personality and intentions. Despite her captivating presence, Roland senses a certain air of secrecy about Lyra. Her movements are graceful, yet there's a hint of caution in her gaze as she's carefully measuring her words and actions. As they continue their journey, Roland remains cautious but intrigued by the enigmatic woman at his side. You continue to walk alongside her, your perception heightened as you observe her. Is there anything specific you'd like to ask her as you travel together? What brings you to this part of town? Start off low and see where it can go. So, Lyra, he begins, his voice casual yet inquisitive. What brings you to this part of town? You seem well-traveled, if I may say so. Lyra smiles softly, her eyes glinting with a hint of mystery. I have my reasons for being here, she replies, her tone cryptic yet alluring. Let's just say I'm drawn to places where adventure awaits and secrets lie hidden. Her response leaves Roland with more questions than answers, but he senses that prying too deeply may not yield the information he seeks. What further conversation or actions do you pursue? I'm going to try something. Give me options. See if it will try to spur me in the right direction. All right. Certainly. It says I can ask Lyra about her skills, share information about the quest, engage in casual conversation, or keep observing Lyra. I'm going to share minor details about the quest. Let's see. Roland decides to share some minor details about his quest with Lyra, hoping to gauge her reaction and perhaps gain some insight from her. Lyra, he begins, his voice low but earnest. I'm on a mission to retrieve a valuable artifact known as the Crown of Shadows. It was stolen from a group I've allied with, and they've tasked me with recovering it. The artifact is rumored to be hidden in a nearby cave, guarded by various dangers. He pauses, studying Lyra's reaction carefully, searching for any sign of recognition or interest in his expression. Roland shares details. All right, as they continue the conversation, what further actions do you request, or do you pursue? Just kind of getting slow here. Offer false details about the trek. Let's see if I can trip her up here. Roland, wary of revealing too much about his quest, decides to offer Lyra some false details. You see, Lyra, the cave where the Crown of Shadows is rumored to be hidden is quite treacherous. It's filled with traps and dangerous creatures lurking in the shadows. Many who have attempted to venture inside have never returned. He watches Lyra closely, curious to see how she reacts to the fabricated information. Wait for... It's asking how I'll respond. Wait for Lyra to respond and continue. Lyra listens attentively to Roland's fabricated account of the dangers, her expressions betraying little emotion. After a moment of thoughtful silence, she nods. A challenging endeavor, indeed, she remarks, her voice calm and composed, but challenges are what make the journey worthwhile. With a subtle smile, she continues to walk alongside Roland, her demeanor unfazed by the false details he provided. All right, I'm going to type in introduce a danger as the trek continues. Alright. As Roland and Lyra continue their journey, the path grows darker and more rugged. They traverse through dense forests and rocky terrain, the sounds of nocturnal creatures echoing in the night. Suddenly, a low growl breaks the silence, followed by rustling of bushes nearby. Without warning, a pair of glowing eyes emerge from the shadows, belonging to a large wolf, its fur bristling as it bares its teeth menacingly. Roland and Lyra find themselves confronted by a dangerous predator. How do they respond? Provide HP and attacks for the wolf. Let's see. So I'm going to try to get some numbers involved in this. That way there's something for me to kind of... Alright, so the wolf has 12 HP, an armor class of 13, a speed of 40. It has bite, and that's its only attack is bite. It has pack tactics, but I think that if it has an ally, so that doesn't matter. Alright, so... Command V. Roll for initiative. AI should control Lyra and the wolf. Keep track of HP and damages. Let's see what it says. So we should be rolling here. Understood. Let's roll for initiative for both Roland and Lyra as well as for the wolf. So Roland's initiative is 12. Lyra's initiative is 17. Alright, so here we go again. This is what... Allow me to manually roll for initiative, AI. Alright. So, I'm having to put in allowing me to manually roll, which, yes, the last episode I didn't have to quite as much. So we're going to try it again. So, absolutely, go ahead and roll a d20 for initiative, and I'll do the same for Lyra and the wolf. Let me know the result. So, well, that is just terrible. So, 5 for me, which means I'm probably going to be going last. All right, so Lyra has 14, the wolf has 9. So Lyra will act first, followed by the wolf, then Roland. Let's begin. I'm going to say this. Remind me of Roland's attacks and weapons. Make sure to keep track of all damages. All right, let's see what it says here. Roland's weapons and attacks are as follow: longsword, power attack. I'll keep track of all damage for you. Let's proceed. All right. AI roll for... Or AI control Lyra. All right. So, Lyra's turn begins. She swiftly reacts to the threat of the wolf with a graceful motion. She draws a dagger from her belt, steps forward to intercept the beast. Lyra makes a melee attack with her dagger. Rolling a d20 to hit, she scores a 16. Lyra's dagger strikes true, dealing damage to the wolf. Rolling for damage, she inflicts 3 points of damage on the wolf. The wolf lets out a yelp of pain, but it remains standing, albeit wounded. The wolf, enraged by the attack, lunges forward at Lyra, aiming to sink its teeth into her flesh. It rolls a 12. The wolf bites find its marks. She takes 6 points of piercing damage as the wolf's sharp teeth sink into her arm. Lyra grunts in pain, but maintains her composure after receiving 6 points of piercing damage from the wolf. It is now my turn. I am going to try to catch the wolf off guard. Catch the wolf off guard and strike with a, I believe they said it was a power attack. Let's see. Seizing the opportunity while the guards, or the wolf, is focused on Lyra, I decide to take a strike with a power attack, aiming to catch a creature off guard. Rolling a d20. Yet again, it keeps manually roll for hit, miss, and damage. Let's try it again. Alright, so Roland seizes the opportunity to catch the wolf off guard, unleashing a powerful strike with his longsword using the power attack technique to maximize damage. Again, it is trying to make me so. These are some of the downfalls of trying to get this to do it right now. Now this is ChatGPT 3.5. My plan is to upload or update to 4 and run that and see how that works. I might wait until this campaign is done to try it. That way I can give a full comparison. But right now, this is where we're at. So, allow me to manually roll. All right, trying it again. Third time's a charm. Roll a d20 to determine if my attack hits the wolf. Add 4 to the roll for your attack bonus and let me know the total. Then roll a d8 for damage if the attack lands. All right. It is a 14 plus 4. 14 plus 4. I do it this way just to make sure it understands that the number I'm giving is the way they're suggesting it. So that's an 18 that should hit, which means I'm rolling a d8. Let's see. My d8 here. Fancy. Alright, let's move that out of the way. And go ahead and roll the d8, let them know. It is a 4. Not too bad. Not the best, but... So, Roland's powerful blow lands solidly on the wolf, dealing 4 points of slashing damage. The wolf's HP is now 5 of 12. That's nice. That's the first time in the 2 videos and sections of this campaign that's actually showed me that. The wolf lets out a pained howl as Roland's sword cuts through its fur, but remains standing, albeit heavily injured. The wolf is wounded, but still determined to fight. What do Roland and Lyra do next? Let's see. What is Roland and Lyra's remaining HP? Lyra is 4 of 10. She is, and I'm still at full. So, Lyra retreats. Lyra, feeling the sting of the wolf's bite, decides to retreat from the immediate danger, seeking... now, something here that, if you remember, Lyra should be AI controlled. I'm having to basically do that control, but kind of, I guess for the rolling and stuff, they're handling it, but for me, I'm telling what they do. So I don't really like that. It's kind of half a dozen and 6 of the other, whatever the saying is. But, so it seeks a safer position to assist Roland. With a swift movement, she steps back from the wolf, putting some distance between herself and the creature. It should be the wolf's turn. Remember, initiative order. So I'm putting that in because hopefully it'll spark its memory that it is now the wolf's turn. All right, so act as the wolf. So I reminded it that it should be the wolf's turn and told it to act as the wolf. As the wolf sees Lyra retreat, it focuses its attention on Roland, who remains in close proximity. The wolf, sensing an opportunity, lunges forward at Roland once again, aiming to sink its teeth into him. Rolling a d20 for the wolf's bite, it rolls a 17. It connects with Roland. Rolling for damage, Roland takes 6 points of damage. My remaining is 14 of 20. Despite the attack, Roland stands firm through the pain from the wolf's bite, although the wolf's bite is evident. Attack with 2 quick. Attack with a slice, followed by a thrust of the long sword. Let's see what this says here. Roland, determined to fend off the wolf, prepares to unleash. Rolling a d20 and add 5 for the first. Let me know. So there is no deduction for the power attack on this one. So 15 plus 5. Alright. So 15 plus 5. It is going to hit, which means I'm going to roll the d8. 7. Which the wolf is heavily wounded, but it remains standing. Roll a d20 for the second. Add 5. We've got a 12, which is 17. It's going to hit. Roll a d8. It is a 4. We should have taken it out at this point. Alrighty, roll d8 for damage 4. That was enough to kill the wolf. With a final decisive strike, Roland's longsword cuts deep. Failing the beast, the wolf collapses to the ground defeated. Roland emerges victorious from the skirmish, albeit with a few wounds of his own. With the immediate threat dealt with, what do Roland and Lyra do? Check supplies for heals. Alright, let's see. They quickly check their supply for any healing items that might help them recover from their wounds. Upon rummaging through their belongings, Roland finds 2 healing potions. With the potions in hand, Roland assesses the condition and potency before deciding. Roland has found 2 healing potions. What does he choose to do with them? Give 1 to Lyra. Roland recognizes the importance of keeping both himself and Lyra in good health, deciding to offer one of the healing potions to Lyra. Lyra, he says, holding out the potion to her, this should help with the injuries, please take it. Lyra accepts the healing potion, graciously nodding her thanks to Roland. She uncorks the bottle and drinks the potion, visibly feeling the effects as her wounds begin to heal. Lyra is restored to full. Roland takes the other. Roland nods as Lyra's injuries begin to heal and turns his attention to his own wounds. He uncorks the remaining potion and drinks it. Feeling the soothing effects wash over him, Roland is now restored to full. Roland then Roland removes the pelt from the fallen wolf to use as clothing. Roland approaches the fallen wolf and carefully removes its pelt, intending to make use of it as clothing or possibly for other purposes. With practice hand, he skins the wolf, taking care to preserve as much of the hide as possible. Let's see. He adds it to his belongings for future use. What is the weather like for the trek? So, just trying to get a couple details. It's going to tell me here, as Roland and Lyra continue their journey, the weather begins to change, with the temperature dropping noticeably. Dark clouds gather overhead, obscuring the moon and stars, and cold wind picks up, carrying with it the promise of rain. The air feels heavy with moisture, and occasional flashes of lightning illuminate the sky in the distance, heralding an approaching storm. Roll perception. Manually roll. Allow me to manually roll perception to scan for trouble. Rolling a d20. It is a 6. I'm not very perceptive today. Despite my efforts to scan the area, the darkness and impending storm make it difficult to discern any potential threats or dangers. Roland's keen eyes strain against the darkness and the howling wind, but the storm clouds overhead obscure his vision. They take temporary refuge beneath the rocky overhang as they huddle together to wait out the storm. The sound of rain pounding against the rocky terrain fills the air, mingling with the distant thunder. Roland checks the map. Roland takes out the map, illuminated by the faint light filtering through the storm clouds, and studies it carefully. As he traces their progress on the map, he notes the location of the cave, as well as the nearby landmarks or points of interest. With the storm raging outside, he and Lyra find themselves in a moment of respite, sheltered from the elements. How far until the mouth of the cave? As Roland studies the map, he estimates that they are still a significant distance away from the mouth of the cave where the crown of shadows is rumored to be hidden. Given the terrain and the current weather conditions, it's difficult to determine an exact distance, but he estimates it could be several hours of travel on foot. I'm asking, what time of day is it now? If it's close to evening, I'm going to go ahead and bed down for the night. Given the current weather conditions and the darkness, it's difficult to determine. The storm clouds obscure the sun and moon, casting the landscape in shadow. However, based on Roland's sense of time and the events that have transpired thus far, it's likely late evening or early night. Roland and Lyra agree to bed for the night. Roland attempts. Let's see. Have Roland manually roll to attempt to start a fire. Roland and Lyra decide to bed down for the night. So Roland gathers some dry twigs and branches intended to start a fire. Roll a d20 for your survival check. And let's see. 14. Roland gathers the dry twigs and branches, skillfully arranging them into a makeshift fire pit. With a determined effort, he strikes flint against steel, sparking a small flame that quickly catches hold of the dry kindling. Soon a warm fire crackles and dances before Roland and Lyra, casting flickering shadows against the rocky walls of their shelter. Roland's efforts have paid off, and the fire provides much needed warmth and light as they settle in for the night. I'm going to type in a prompt here. Have the fire draw the attention of, let's see, of a creature in the woods. Have the creature appear. Let's see. We'll just leave it at that. Have the fire draw the attention of a creature in the woods. So I'm kind of having to direct the story here. I'm also having to play one of the characters, but it's a good way to allow for the AI to fill in the holes of the story. I have an idea of where I want this to go. There's a trek to the mouth of the cage with a couple of different confrontations on the way there. Little things here and there. And then once they get to the mouth of the cave, there's some things there. And then there's a journey into the cave. And then there's the idea of finding it. And then after that, of course, there's figuring out what happens after they find it. So I'm directing it, but at the same time, I am also just kind of allowing the AI to fill in the gaps. My wife is making faces at me from the kitchen. So as Roland and Lyra settle in by the crackling fire, the warmth and the light cast by the flames begin to draw the attention of creatures lurking in the woods. Suddenly, a pair of glowing eyes appear in the darkness beyond the edge of the firelight, followed by the sound of rustling underbrush. Emerging from the shadows. All right, now it's going to have me fight a large wolf again. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to my books here. And I have a Game Masters book, and I'm going to scroll through. If I can have maybe well, let's see. I think we're just going to have like a pack of kobolds come out. So I'm going to mention that. Now I'm borrowing from the beginner's box, the Otari storyline from some of this. So I'm going to do this. Instead of having it have the fire draw the attention of a pack of kobolds in the woods, provide HP and attack details for the kobolds. All right, let's see how knowledgeable this is. I'm putting in kobolds. We'll see if it actually does that. So, as Roland and Lyra settle in the warmth of the fire, the crackling flames cast a flickering glow into the surrounding darkness. Unbeknownst to them, their fire has drawn the attention of a nearby pack of kobolds, scavengers of the wilderness. Emerging from the shadows of the woods, the kobolds approach cautiously, their reptilian eyes gleaming in the firelight as they size up their potential prey. So, they each have an HP of 5, an armor class of 12, and a speed of 30. They have a dagger attack. And as the kobolds close in, their attention's clear. Roland and Lyra brace themselves for a fight. What do you do now? That is a great place to end this episode. Please let me know down below how you're enjoying it, what I can do differently, what you like. This is a learning experience for me. This is just a way for me to play. As I've explained in the last episode, there's just not a lot of time on my part, and there's also not a lot of interest from maybe other people, at least that I know of, to play with me. Maybe I'm just too scared to ask people. I don't know. But I am playing and doing it this way to give me an opportunity to kind of learn it and play and just allow myself to explore a little bit of fantasy. So I'm enjoying it. I hope you are. Like and subscribe, and stay tuned for the next episode. We'll see you later.